Now we come to the most important part in the life cycle of the Lycopodium, that is the gametophyte. And this question has been coming so often. It keeps coming like every few years, no, every 1 year, 2 years, it alternates. So I cannot promise it will come because I don't know no who sets the question, but it usually comes. Okay. So I want you all to really concentrate and practice the diagrams and understand the gametophyte. Okay, and there are three types. There is the Cernum, the Phlegmaria, and the I forgot the third one. Cernum type, Clavatum type, and the Phlegmaria type. Okay, so there are three types, and the diagrams are also very interesting. So just from the diagram itself, you will be able to understand and to write. Okay, so the Lycopodium is homosporous, and therefore it will produce a spore, and then it has released the spore. Remember, we stopped in the sporangium, release the spore. Now what happened when the spore gets released? Okay, so remember that dry triangular spore got released, no, from the sporangium. Okay, it got released. Then it landed, it was carried by wind and it landed somewhere. Okay, the spore. Now, what this spore will do next is very important, because this spore, no, this one, it will produce your gametophyte. Okay, it will grow and produce the different types of gametophytes. Okay, it produces the different types of gametophytes. All right, and those gametophyte on germination, they will contain the male and the female reproductive organs. Okay, because remember, so far all we did was about the cone, no, the strobilus, the cone, right? We only did about the cone. It is not that the cone has male and female organs, no. Okay, the cone is its duty is to produce only spores. So this spore came out, landed somewhere in a moist and wet ground. It will germinate there, produce some roots, then it will grow into a gametophyte. Okay, so let's see. So the spore will germinate to produce the gametophytic prothallus. Okay. Thallus means it's not like a plant that you can see the leaf and all. No, the leaf, the stem, the root and shoot. A thallus is just like a plant body, like a mass, like a bulb. Okay, bulbous mass of green tissues. Okay, and not only is it a thallus, it is a prothallus. You know, not even like fully thallus. Okay, and this prothallus, okay, this mass of plant flesh, this mass of plant body will bear both the male and the female sex organs. Okay, that is when male and female are present on the same plant, we call them as monoecious. Okay, dioecious is when the one plant, let's say one tree, produce only male flowers and another tree produce female flowers. So that is dioecious. But if one plant produce both male flowers and female flowers, more style, no, it is monoecious. Okay. Okay, so the spore may germinate immediately in some species, or it will rest for some time. Maybe some of them will rest for several years, and then when they get enough water, they will absorb the water and they will germinate. Okay, they'll germinate just like a normal seed. Okay, so the first division of the spore is asymmetric, means it's not exactly halfway. Okay, this was the spore, na? So this is the spore, right? Triradioid ridge. So let's see if the spore divide by asymmetric. It'll divide something. It'll divide something like this. Okay, and then one cell, the small one, will form the rhizoidal cell. Okay, this word rhizoidal cell, and a larger one and one large cell. Okay, so very easily you can see. Oh no, why I'm drawing? I can just show you. No, is it there? No, I don't think it's diagram is there. No, it's not there. So I have to draw only. Okay, so what happened on germination when the spore reach a soil? No, this one, it reaches soil, it will divide asymmetric. One small cell will become the rhizoidal cell, and we will have one larger cell. The rhizoidal cell will do what? It will produce the rhizoids or the roots. Okay. Okay. Of these two cells, the one nearer to the rhizoidal cell is called as the basal cell. Okay, and it does not divide further. Wait, something is missing. Okay, yeah, something was missing. Yes, let's go on. The first division of the spore is asymmetric to produce one small biconvex rhizoidal cell and one large cell. Okay, then after this division, the exine will rupture along the triradiate ridge. The exine will rupture along the triradiate ridge. Then the right means it needs more space. No, it will rupture. Then the rhizoidal cell disintegrates. Okay, it will die off, while the large cell again divides by a vertical wall to form two cells. Okay, so we start with this, then like that. No, then this one will die off, and then this one will divide again. Okay, so we'll have something like this, something like that. Okay, we are getting two cells now. Then out of these two cells, the one that is near to the rhizoidal cell is called as the basal cell, and it does not divide further. Okay, then the other cell, it will divide again and form apical cell, right? And then after forming apical cell, if there is no infection by mycorrhizal fungus, okay, this is a fungus. If there's no infection by the fungus, it will not divide anymore. And this infection of the fungus, it will enter through the basal cell. So let's see again. Okay, so what we started was like, let's draw it again. We started like this, then like this, then this one, it died off and it divided like this, right? Then this one is the basal cell. This is the apical cell, basal cell, and then this is the apical cell. Okay, AC and BC. Okay, the one nearer to the rhizoidal cell is basal cell, and the one away is the apical cell. Then basal cell and apical cell. Then if the fungus comes and infect through this apical cell, through the basal cell, if the fungus infects, then again the apical cell will divide again. Okay. Okay, now up to here we stop. Obviously I'll try and finish this chapter. Up to here it stops the division, and then we will find that they will develop three types of prothallus. Okay, depending on which species. Okay, means up to here the prothallus is similar in division, no, the way it forms. But when we get to the mature prothallus, we will find that there are three types of gametophytes. Okay, then the first type is the cernum type. Just look at the diagram first. This cernum type is for the A one, the A. Okay, it's over here. You can see that there are these chlorophyllous leaves that appear like leaves at the top. It has a bulbous base, and you can see some rhizoids here below. Okay, look here first. This one, forget the rest. Look there first. Okay, now let's look at the cernum type. So this type of gametophyte is found in most of the tropical species. Okay, here the spore will germinate immediately and the gametophyte completes its growth in one season. Okay, this is very quick. The structure also very simple and the growth is also very quick. Directly it reached the place, directly it germinate. Okay. Now remember it had those leaf-like on the top, then some bulb-like and like this. So the prothallus is small and is green. Okay, this one is green in color. Okay, and it is above ground. Okay, this is the ground. Okay, it's above ground. It is small, it is green and is above ground, and the lower basal region is buried in the soil. Okay. Now the rhizoids occur in the lower part, which is colorless. Okay, the top part is green and the lower part where the rhizoids are there, it is in the ground, so it is colorless. Okay, then the lower part, the ground part, the fat part of the basal part, this is where the, remember that fungus I told you, that mycorrhizal fungus, this is where that endophytic fungus is found. Okay, this is that leaf-like, no, where it photosynthesizes, and this is the basal part. It's the rhizoid. Now here, the fungus is here. Okay, you in the diagram you saw, no, something like this, like this. You saw, no, something like this, like that, like that. Those are your fungus. Okay, the rough drawing of the fungus. The entire plant body may not be over 3 millimeter long and are annual in nature because they grow and develop immediately and complete their life cycle immediately in one season. So they are annual. Okay, and they're very tiny. 3 millimeter is so small, you cannot even see. You have to use a, what to say, a handheld lens, no? Okay, so let's continue. The upper part is exposed to the sunlight and has a number of irregular leaf-like lobes that are photosynthetic, and it forms a crown. Okay. Nutritionally, the prothallus is both autotrophic and saprophytic. Okay. So the antheridia and archegonium, these are the male and female organs, they occur near the base of the aerial lobes. Okay. Okay, now let's look at the clavatum type. Okay, so this part is the crown. These are the rhizoids, and here these are the fungus. And the archegonia and antheridia are formed somewhere here, okay, near the base of the crown. Okay. Now, if we look at the second type, that is the clavatum type. Remember the sternum, immediately they germinated, but here the spore germination is delayed for a long time, sometimes for many years at a time. Okay. So therefore, the prothallus has a longer lifespan. Okay. Here the prothallus are not green. Okay, they are fleshy, means like my finger, no, like your finger, my finger, like flesh, thick. They are totally saprophytic. Obviously, since they are not green, they have to behave like mushroom, no, feed on dead and decay matter. So they are totally saprophytic, and they are. So think about it, girls. If they are not green, do they even need to come above the sunlight, above the soil? They don't need sunlight, no. So they will be completely buried in the soil. So they are completely subterranean. Subterranean means they are completely below, under the soil. They are buried. Okay. And they are perennial in nature because they persist for many years. Okay. They develop beneath the surface of the ground. Okay. And they are quite large. The prothallus is quite large and may be up to 2 centimeters in length. Okay, because they are below ground, they are protected, no, from outside animals grazing, so they can grow large, up to 2 centimeters long. For you and me, 2 centimeters is big. It's small, no, but for plants, it is big, 2 centimeters. Okay. So they may be top shape. Top shape is like a spinning top, no, like this. They may be top shape, no, with a convolute margin, or carrot shape, like a carrot, no, they could be carrot shape. They are top shape in clavatum, and they are carrot shape in this complenatum, another type. So the top of the prothallus are lobed, they have lobes, and the sex organs and the growing embryos are located in these lobes. Okay, where is the sternum type? Clavatum, no? Is the clavatum? Okay, you can see this one is the carrot shape one. This is also carrot shape one. This is that top shape one. Okay, here these are the lobes, and the antheridia and the archegonia are here on top of these lobes. Okay, here also there's a lobe, and the antheridia and archegonia are at the top. Okay, now you will notice that the rhizoids or the roots are above, are up, because they are underground. So the roots can be from up, down, left, right, up, you know, upar, niche, aage, piche, up and down, round and round, because they are fully covered, no, in the soil. Okay. Okay, so let's continue. Where did we? Okay, let's continue. So although what? All the gametophytes are parenchymatous, tissue differentiation is noted in the lower portion. Okay. Okay, so remember that carrot shape. Okay, although all this, the entire body is gametophytic cell, but it divides. It performs different functions only in the lower part. The rest, no, it's completely used for storage. Okay, storage of tissue means storage of food matter, because they need to persist for years and years. No, they have no guarantee when this water will come, when the food will come. Okay. Now there are some radially elongated cells that are closely packed. Okay, and these are the mycorrhizal layer. Okay, so this one, the mycorrhiza is inside the cells. Okay, these are tightly packed cells, and the mycorrhiza are inside these cells. I, oh, here, yes, this one, yes. Okay, yes, this one is clavatum type. This one is the top shape. Now remember that spinning top, and this one is that carrot shape. Okay, this is that carrot shape. This is the top shape. This is that top shape. Okay, the spinning top shape. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, I'll explain first this one, the top shape. Okay, have a look. You are seeing, first you can see that they are the rhizoids. No, first we start from the rhizoids, then we have the cortex of the cells. Cells of the cortex are here. No, cortical mycorrhizal region, and then this cortical mycorrhizal region, they have mycorrhiza in them. Then you have another layer of cells known as palisade mycorrhizal region. These cells also, they are different kinds of cells that are tightly packed. Okay, so they also contain mycorrhiza, and then after that you will have the storage tissue, this one next to it, the storage tissue which stores the food, and then you will have a central region that is full of parenchymatous cell, ordinary cells, and then here look at the top, this part, do you see the archegonia, and then here the round one you see the antheridia, which I'll show again. These will produce the male parts, that is the anthers, that is containing antheridia, and here these are the, they'll produce the egg or the ovum from the archegonia. Okay, I'll say it again. First we started with an epidermis, obviously, then out of the epidermis came the rhizoids, then we had this cortical mycorrhizal region, which is just like your ordinary cortex cells, no, but they have mycorrhiza in them. Then you have these abnormal looking cells, do you see them, tightly packed one, which are your palisade mycorrhizal region, and these cells also have mycorrhiza. Okay, then you have your next layer of cells that is containing the storage, so these are the storage cells. Then you have many cells, that is your central cortex. Then above, up there, you will see the antheridia here, and these are also the antheridia, and then you are seeing the archegonia. And those empty round spaces, no, these are the old antheridia which have already been released. Okay, the antherizoids have already been released into the nature. Now here also this carrot shaped one, it's the same. Okay, if you see this carrot shaped one, here we start with the single layer of epidermis with these root hairs. Then you have this hyphal tissue, that is your cortical mycorrhizal tissue, which contains the fungus. Then you have this palisade tissue, which are closely packed cells. This line one, these are closely packed cells which also contain the mycorrhiza. Then you have the storage tissue. Then you have the cortex part, central parenchymatous cells. Then you are having the antheridia, and then here these are the archegonia. Okay, so they are forming different shapes and structures, but basically their internal organization is basically the same. They have almost the same type of cells. Okay, so here there's nothing new to explain, no need to read it also. I'm not going to read it also because everything it's explained in the diagram. Okay, so now let's look at the last, the third type, that is the Phlegmaria type. Okay, now here they are above ground, but what is unique is that they do not photosynthesize. They are saprophytic in nature. Okay, and they are growing on tree trunks, right? So if you go roaming in the forest, you might see some lycopodium growing on the tree trunks, no? So those are the gametophytes of the Phlegmaria type. Okay, so this type is found in the epiphytic species of Lycopodium, that is your Lycopodium phlegmaria. The name is derived from the type that it is. Okay. So here the spore germinates immediately and it grows only for only one season. Okay. So the prothallus is short, it is like a tuber, and it is colorless. It is short, it is tuberous in the central part, from which a number of colorless, slender and cylindrical branches develop in an irregular fashion. Let's look at the diagram. Here, this one. Okay, so see this one, no? This middle one is like a tuber, okay, like a potato. Potato is a tuber, right? It's like a tuber. Then you have these colorless branches that are coming out. Okay, right, and it is on top of the tree trunks, no? So it is aerial. So these branches, they will bear the sex organs and are usually surrounded by hairs called as paraphysis. All right. So other than these three types of gametophytes, there are some intermediate types in between these forms. Okay. For example, the gametophyte of Selago is in between the Cernum and Clavatum types. Okay. Here, spore germination and gametophyte development take place immediately, but the spore will germinate after a long resting period if they are so deeply buried in the soil. So, as a result, the subterranean saprophytic clavatum type of gametophyte is formed. Hence, more than one type of prothallus may occur in the same species. Okay, so this one, it depends purely on maybe there was no water, no, so how can it, yes, it wants to finish its work immediately, no, but there's no water, what to do, it has to rest. Okay, so again I will repeat that this gametophyte development, it has always been coming. Okay, so you learn the three types very clearly and you draw the diagram very well. Okay, because when it comes also, it comes for 10 marks, 20, like 15 marks, like that. Okay.